Metal and core. What the hell is the difference? I'm here to explain the differences between metal music and core music. So I am here to set it straight. What is the difference between metal music and core music? First, we'll start with metal. Metal, in its purest, is about the dark vibes. Black Sabbath, they created the metal genre. And there's a darkness to it. There's a dark vibe, a dark energy that metal brings, that you know it when you hear it. Hard to describe in words, but when you hear it, you hear those dark vibes, you know that it's metal. And it makes you feel powerful. Almost an adventure, like you're going somewhere. It's taking you on a journey. Metal is supposed to be fantastical. You know, it's about these fantastical themes like the devil and God and their battles or whatever. You have stuff like power metal where they talk about demons and dungeons and dragons and shit like that. And yeah, metal can have like realistic topics like war and stuff like that, but there's still a certain vibe and a darkness to it. Metal itself is not angry. Metal is about darkness. That's why a lot of metal it just has this certain energy that taps into like the negative and finding the beauty in the negative. Not only that, but metal really prioritizes the musicianship and their technical prowess. Metal specifically. You know, you have these guitar solos, intricate riffing, exciting drums that feel very explosive in a way where it brings on that powerful energy and it wants to take you on a journey and tell a fantastical story. This is what metal is. That is what metal is trying to tell you. You know, anything else is just an influence, but metal at its purest is about its dark energy. It wants to take you on a dark vibe, on a dark, powerful, fantastical ride. Now, core. Core comes from punk. Core has become its own thing, but in its roots, it comes from punk. Hardcore punk, leading down to just normal punk back in the 70s and the 80s. So a lot of stuff and its beliefs are rooted in punk. And punk more talks about its reality, what you're seeing in your everyday to day life. You know, I like to call it like street or street rock. That's where you will see a lot of these bands usually play too, just out in parking lots, in the streets, for fun. You'll never see a metal band playing out in the street, but you will see a core band or a punk band playing out in the street, in the parking lot, in some random VFW with the lights on. It's about the aggression. There's like aggression inside you that's almost kind of fueled by anger and rage. Very emotional, very just like very deep rooted into your animalistic instincts. And the storytelling is more based on reality. Your real life experiences, things you go to as a human being and as you grow. It's not really about trying to tell a fantastical story. That's the energy it brings. It brings on your inner emotion, your inner feelings that you deal with on a regular basis and brings it out, either through rage, passion, or anything else that you really feel on a day-to-day basis. It's not supposed to be fantastical. It's supposed to be on reality. What do you see around you? What are you feeling currently? What's causing you to feel? What's causing you to live? What's causing you to feel emotions? That is what core is mainly based out of. It's a different type of energy from metal. There's a certain type of aggression and in-your-faceness that core provides. At its root, that is what core provides. So let's break it down. Metal provides a dark vibe. It's fantastical, Very based on skillful musicianship and technical prowess. Makes you feel powerful, almost adventure-like you're going on a fantastical journey. And a lot of the lyrics are about fictional storytelling. Core, rooted in reality, very aggressive and in your face, provides a lot of anger and rage, but it can have other emotions. But anger and rage is usually the most sought out. Storytelling is more based on real life experiences, and it's very street. It gives off a very street energy.
Forgot another thing. Mosh pits. The differences between the two genres are also with their mosh pits. With metal, generally push pits, circle pits, some dancing, and it's generally frowned upon to do karate in the pit. Now with core music, there is fist flying, limbs flying, crowd killing, and karate in the pit.
So these are the differences between metal and core. If you can picture some guy with long hair who looks like he worships Satan, and that's the vibe the song gives you, it's probably a metal song, a metal band. But if you can imagine some guy who you probably think is a thug, probably been to jail, probably could kill you. Not all of them, not. But if that's the kind of person you can imagine based on the music you're hearing, yeah, it's probably a core band. Deep down in its roots, this is what they are. And that's the end of my rant. That's the differences between metal and core. Maybe I'll make a video about metalcore, because that's a whole different discussion. But till then, we'll see you next time. Peace out, yo.